Alsu, welcome. It's so wonderful to see you now. You're in Texas now, recovering after several long and pretty emotional days. Tell us how you're feeling now. What are you feeling now?
Thank you, Mike. I'm happy, I'm good, I'm finally in good hands. I'm getting basic professional medical care. I've been denied for months. I'm being treated as a human being finally again after this 1 year of detention and horrible ordeal. Thank you, I'm good now.
We've seen the videos of your arrival at Joint Base Andrews outside of Washington. You're welcomed by President Biden and Vice President Harris, and then of course your joyful reunion with Pavel and your two daughters. Honestly, it brought tears to my own eyes. Describe that moment, what that meant to you as a mother, a parent, a wife, being separated for more than a year, then stepping off the plane and seeing them and then rushing to hug them in person.
It was the moment I've been fantasizing a lot for months. I exactly, clearly could see in my dreams how it will be. It exceeded my expectations, of course, but it was the happiest moment. And till that moment, Mike, I couldn't believe this was happening, because anything could have gone wrong, anything. Because the procedure itself, I was kept, everything was kept in secret, what was going on. I didn't know who was taking me, where, when, and why. And after months of happening nothing in my investigation, and so this thing happened. So I really believed that this magic happened only when I hugged my husband and my children. And since then, we can't stop hugging each other.
Well, on this side too, Mike, there was so much uncertainty in the days leading up to this trade. I stayed away from, social media, from unconfirmed reports. Even going into the White House on Thursday morning, I obviously, especially when I saw the other families entering the White House, and we all hugged and congratulated each other. But I wasn't sure that it was happening that same day, and then it was in the Oval Office when President Biden announced it to us, and I still found it hard to believe, and it was many things came as a surprise on that day, and including the phone call that was made from the president's desk in the Oval Office. So we were so happy to finally hear Alsu's voice after so many months of no communication with Alsu.
Also, your re-entry to the free world, to the United States, has included, if I'm not mistaken, enjoying avocados. Are there other things that you've been enjoying that perhaps you realized you've missed so much?
Oh, that's that's a really funny. I didn't know I was being filmed when I was trying my first avocado. But Mike, it wasn't avocado I was craving in prison. Of course, it tastes amazing because we are in Texas. But my first clean water in a glass, I had it on a plane from Ankara to Andrews Airport. I've been dreaming of a first glass of water, my first clean long shower in a hotel, my first sleep in a decent bed. I'm still having my first, and it's been only a couple of days, right? I lost track, but I'm still having those first. Today, this morning, I had my first walk by myself, without surveillance, without supervision, without anyone taking me anywhere. I'm still going through. Actually, I didn't expect this would be so hard. In prison, I felt strong. I thought I was doing okay, but I clearly need some time to cope with everything what is happening and what has happened, most importantly.
And we're here for Alsu, myself and the girls. We look forward to helping her reintegrate into the free world after so many months of unjust and wrongful detention. It's going to be a process. Alsu is now recuperating. We're helping her on this pathway. But we're good. Finally, she's in good hands. Finally, she's surrounded by love. For many months, Alsu was denied basic human dignity. It's all over now. This nightmare is over. We're waking up from this nightmare. I'm glad it all worked out. And it will work out for the other journalists from Radio Free Europe who are unjustly held prisoner in Belarus and in Russia-occupied Crimea.
Also, I want to ask you about the moment when you had an inkling, a hint that something was up, that you could be headed for release. Was it in Kazan, where you were held in a women's prison for so much of your confinement? Or was it when you were taken to Moscow?
As I said, Mike, it's been a long winter without any information, with nothing in my investigator. Cold winter and spring came and nothing was happening. And then suddenly my trials were rushed. And this was the indication that something might be going on. Also, I learned that Evan's trials were on the same day, and somehow I was thinking that that might be a sign. Then it was silence for some time again, and I was taken from the prison in Kazan to a very different destination. I was told when they took me by this Stolypin train, prison train, they told me they were taking me to an opposite destination from Moscow. But again, I mean, there was hope, but I was ready for anything. And then it took, the journey to Moscow took 3 days. And the last day I learned that I was being taken to Moscow, and there was hope again. And then in Moscow I was put to prison again, and nobody told me how long I will stay there. So this was how it was developing. I always believed that for the exchange, I always knew that we were working on that step by step, small, cautious steps, but that was my only hope. Otherwise, the imprisonment for 6.5 years for a journalist, for a woman, is an absurd verdict.
Was there ever a moment in that process where you thought maybe this could be a ploy, or the prison authorities or the FSB were toying with you, like psychological pressure of something of that sort?
I've been through a huge amount of psychological pressure in the past 10 months. So I didn't think about it. My hope helped me to get through this. No, I didn't think. I can't say I trusted, that's not the right word, but I really hoped and believed.
You're obviously elated, overjoyed to be reunited with your family, to be free. But what about other emotions? Are you angry at all? Do you feel like you're angry that you've had 9 months taken away from you, from your life, from your family, by the Russian state?
It's definitely not anger I feel right now. I'm not angry. I don't hate anyone. I feel sorry. I feel compassion that people had to do the job they did, those judges, investigators, officers, guards. Really, no anger. I have to catch up with the world right now. I have to rewatch so many videos my family made for me when I was away. I have to get to know new music, news, stories, books, movies, you name it, everything. Yes, that time was stolen from me, and nobody will bring back that year for me and my family. We will catch up. That made me stronger. That made our family stronger. And yes, no anger for sure. I don't hate anyone.
Pavel, let me turn to you with one last question. To say it's been a roller coaster of emotions over the past week, over the past days, is a gross understatement. Describe for us what you're feeling these days. What's racing through your mind in the wee hours of the night when you're lying awake in bed?
I now have to adjust to a new life without having to check social media or notes from Alsu's lawyers or first thing in the morning. So I feel a huge relief, honestly. But I also look forward to this new era to help Alsu reintegrate. It's going to be a process, but it's been a very emotional few days. I'm still processing what happened, really. I still can't believe that we went through all this. We were in the Oval Office. I had the kids meet President Biden, Vice President Harris, and just they were so, chatting with them informally, having no reverence really for their titles. But, and then, President Biden gave us all a private tour of the White House. That was awesome. So I'm still processing what just happened. But more importantly, we're all happy. It's obviously it's an understatement to say that we're overjoyed to have Alsu back. Alsu did nothing wrong. She's not a criminal. The entire world knows that. She didn't deserve to be there. Our family did not deserve to go through this. No family needs to go through this kind of stuff, and especially the families of journalists. Journalism is not a crime. Alsu is not a criminal. I'm happy she's back.
I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be with my children now. I'll be a normal mom. I will be taking care of my family. I'm looking forward to it. We are solving basic problems like back to school things right now, and I really am looking forward to do that. Take some time to know what was happening around my case, and the more I know, the more I learn. It's incredible. It's like I can't thank enough all my advocacy group, the U.S. government, the members of Congress, the Committee to Protect Journalists, my colleagues at RFE, all press freedom groups. The information was so limited, information was getting to me was so limited. I had no idea about the scale of the campaign, what was going on around me and other journalists. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love it, and I will ask, and I will personally say thank you to everyone in each.
Also has a lot of people to thank, and to the meet and greet. She doesn't even know how many people have worked on this, and on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. But speaking of the kids, I owe a debt of gratitude to our children, because they've really become the best advocates, the best spokespeople for the Free Alsu cause. Not only did Alsu find them to have grown taller, but she found them also to be more mature, and themselves they are very aware about their own rights as Americans and as free human beings, really.
Alsu, Pavel, thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you here back in Prague soonest.